Hi everyone, my name is Mustafa El Miludi, and this is my presentation about technology plan review strategy. Um, First of all, let me talk about the significance of the technology plan review. Technology plan review is extremely crucial and offers a vital insight into the plan's strengths, weaknesses, and challenges, and also serves as a valuable tool for ensuring alignment with evolving circumstances and goals. Conducting a plan review by examining feedback and peer review and external insights allows us to gain a deeper understanding of the plan's environment, performance, and effectiveness of existing intervention. This process involves understanding what works well, what needs improvement, and how to address areas of concern, which will help us critically evaluate our plan, refine it, and finally communicate the improvements we plan to make. So, very quickly, let me go over the Cary ISD, Cary Independent School District, quick facts. Cary ISD is one of the fast growing school districts in Greater Houston and even in Texas. Its mission is to provide unparalleled learning experiences designed to prepare and inspire each student to live an honorable, fulfilling life. The school district currently serves more than 90,000 students. 70% of students are from minority background. 28.2% of students are considered economically disadvantaged. Consistently receives an A rating from the Texas Education Agency. And 94.9% of students in the class of 2023 received their high school diploma on time or earlier. 100% of teachers are licensed. They have a teaching certification. And 89.2% have 3 or more years of experience. Now, very briefly, what are the strategic goals? We cannot talk about technology plan review unless we talk about what are the strategic goals that the plan is supposed to be aligned to. So very quick, goal number one, actively ensure safe and secure physical environment for students and staff. All learning environments will foster engagement by integrating personalized learning experiences, support best practices for utilizing effective assessment that inspire and inform purposeful instruction towards continuous improvement, securely, effectively, and efficiently provide the best-in-class technology to accommodate, educate, and inform all stakeholders on the current and next generation of digital content and tools. Goal number five, attract, develop, support, and retain high-quality staff members, including, of course, the teachers. Goal number six, identify, address, and communicate the ongoing challenges in the public school finance system. Now, why do we need a technology plan review strategy? Now, before we do that, we need to get some feedback, or we need to analyze the feedback and the peer review. So I'll share with you the summary that will be presented from the lens of the 5 topics: the needs analysis, planning for technology, designing learning spaces, budget plan, and finally, sustainability and scalability. Conducting a plan review by examining feedback and external insights allows us to gain a deeper understanding of the plan's environment, performance, and effectiveness. As I mentioned earlier, to check or to assess what works well, what needs improvement, and what needs to change. Some of these changes might not be, so I'm not saying that I'm going to agree with all the changes, all the feedback. So some of these changes might not be realistically incorporated into our plan, and I will share with you our reasoning why we did not take it into consideration. Okay, so let me start with the first aspect, needs assessment. So needs assessment is very important. I got few feedback about that aspect. Brandy and Jennifer suggest enhancing the feedback mechanism and incorporating ongoing feedback tools used in the needs assessment phase, such as digital surveys or interactive forums that allows for real-time responses from both students and teachers. It is also suggested that the plan considers using open-ended questioning instead of just relying on quantitative data. So open-ended questioning instrument that would allow stakeholders to offer unanticipated insight. I completely agree with this suggestion. I think it will make a great impact, and then it will also improve the customer service and then improve efficiency. The next aspect, plan for technology. Pauline emphasized a very important point. Emphasize that it is important to move the plan from a vision to something that actually works, to make it basically more practical. So basically, the plan should be more actionable than just conceptual. Pauline suggested outlining a pilot program that starts small and proposed, for instance, testing a sustainable device replacement cycle within a single junior high school or across a grade level. Okay, I totally also agree with this suggestion because it will be the safest way to go to make sure that you test it at a small scale, make sure everything is working before you make a commitment to a full-scale transition. Now, as far as professional development is concerned, Danielle, Marcos, Monique, and Delia highlighted the importance of tracking the impact of teacher professional development initiatives or technology integration in the classroom. They suggested providing practical tools to assess success and more transparent frameworks for evaluating the effectiveness of professional development initiatives. I also agree with this suggestion, and the plan will definitely include this instrument, especially for assessment. How do we know that the professional development initiatives are working and they are meeting the needs? So we need to have, for example, some like pre-assessment and post-assessment to make sure that they are performing or generating the outcomes that we expect. Next aspect, designing learning spaces. Now, Jonathan suggested providing a few additional research-backed details around how technology could be applied within the context of pedagogical needs, support services, and interdisciplinary programs. This will have a significant impact on fostering engagement, motivation, collaboration, and personalized learning experiences. So while my plan also has some, but I don't think it's fully developed. So I think Jonathan has a very good point here, and then the plan will definitely make some changes and incorporate some research-backed, approaches and initiatives that will make sure that the technology is well and effectively integrated into our classroom and serve the needs of students. Budget plan. So Nicole and Sean suggested including itemized budget projection and providing clearer breakdown of annual cost, replacement cycle, and any funding sources that would strengthen the plan. I also agree with this suggestion because it shows basically where the funding is coming from, and it gives you like a breakdown analysis of where the money is spent, and then basically the performance and the effectiveness of the budget plan. Because failing to account for this consideration may lead to financial challenges and disrupt learning. So it's very important to include these changes into our plan. Now, for the last point, scalability and sustainability. Now, Michael and Brandy, they stress the importance of maintaining a balance between rapid technological growth and sustainable practices over the long term. While I agree with this concept of balancing, but I don't think I got enough kind of specific information or details how it can be implemented. I was hoping that the suggestion contains some specific details and how it can be implemented, and then probably do step-by-step, uh, suggestion or instructions how to do that, like realistically. So I don't think I'm able to implement this change because it's not clear enough. It lacks like clarity and there's some ambiguity in there. So I just don't see how it can be implemented in the field. But I really appreciate the suggestion. All right, I put everything in the table as you can see here. So we have the areas of focus, which are the 5 aspect: needs assessment, plan for technology, designing learning spaces, budget plan, and scalability and sustainability. And then we have 2 states. What is the state now? And then based on the feedback and the peer review, what should be state? And then I added 1 column for the rationale, the justification why the change needs to be made. As you can see, needs assessment, there is it relies on traditional feedback tools and basically only quantitative data. Now, the feedback suggests that I should incorporate digital surveys, interactive forum, basically take advantage of the advancements of the technology to make sure that I get a good customer service and real-time responses. Now, of course, the rationale is to receive real-time responses and then increase, so the effect, it will increase efficiency. Now, for plan for technology, what is states the plan is developed without carefully testing the technology in a controlled environment. So this is kind of risky. That's why I think it's wise and safe to start with the pilot program and test the sustainable device replacement cycle within a limited environment. It could be junior high school or elementary before making the transition to a full-scale execution. I think that's a good move to make. And the rationale is move the plan from conceptual mode to actionable. Now, for as far as professional development is concerned, now what is the state? Professional development training are included, but little focus on its impact. It means how do we check that they are generating the outcome that we expect? So what should be state? We should highlight the importance of tracking. So we need to put in place a tracking system to assess and evaluate the impact of this teacher professional development and training, and then the technology integration into the classroom. So the rationale tracking the effectiveness of the training and the professional development using, for example, a pre-test, post-test, or post-assessment to help us improve the performance. Now, for designing learning spaces, what is state? The learning space is not optimally designed and needs little improvement to better meet the needs of all learners. Now, what change needs to be made based on the feedback? Provide research-backed details around how technology could be applied to meet. So we need to make sure that the learner's needs are the center of the focus, are the priority. So we should not be distracted by the advancements of technology, and then forget about the most important part of the equation, which is the student learning or the learner achievement. The rationale, technology integration should be aligned with the pedagogical approaches and learning objectives. Now, for the budget plan, what is the state? Budget plan is not fully defined and finalized. There are aspects that are unclear or partially developed. Now, what should be state? What kind of change needs to be made? Include itemized budget projection and providing clear breakdown of annual costs and replacement cycles. What is the rationale? Comprehensive budget plan should include a breakdown of all identified costs presented in a clear and organized format. Why? Because failing to do that creates challenges and disrupts learning. And finally, the scalability and sustainability. I mean, I agree with the statement. I just don't have enough specific information to be able to make the change happen. So that's why I said here the rationale sustainability should be woven into the fabric of the plan. Yes, I agree, to make it a core element. But the suggestion is not clear enough is not well defined for me to be able to implement it in the field. So this is the changes to be made based on the aspect, on each aspect, the 5 aspect needs assessment, include the digital tools and technology to increase efficiency. For planning for technology, conducting small-scale implementation. The plan can identify issues and make necessary adjustments. Design learning spaces, we should provide more research-backed details or approaches how technology could be integrated. Budget plan, include itemized budget projection and provide clear breakdown of annual cost. And then on scalability and sustainability, I said that there is little details about how the changes will be made. So therefore, we're not gonna be able to implement these changes, at least at this point. Now, in conclusion, I would like to thank all the stakeholders and reviewers for taking the time to assess my technology plan and share their insight and feedback. Your help is highly appreciated. Technology plan is a challenge, no doubt about that, and multifaceted process due to the complexity of the technological advancement. So you have to be basically up to date with what's going on in the technology. And then there is also a need for constant alignment with strategic goals and the potential for pools. Even if you have the best plan in the world, if you don't have a good implementation, it doesn't really make a difference. In addition, the necessity for continuous learning and adaptation contributes even more to the difficulty of crafting the plan. However, having said that, with a clear vision, ongoing evaluation, and willingness to adapt to changing circumstances, the plan is more likely to generate and produce positive outcomes and promote success. Thank you so much.